dream. We apologize for that. Not exactly sure the reason. Side comes in high and tight, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Yesterday, Mikey Teasley pitched. The first day of the tournament, Cam Welch pitched. Side throws from the left side. He's a big senior. 3-1 pitch, hit in the air. Right side, Richie Ferreira, the right fielder, over towards the line, and just in fair territory, makes the play for out number 1. Batter now will be the third baseman, Justin Smith. Justin looks like he's going to bat from the left side against the left-handed throwing Cy Stevens. Mikey Teasley's the third baseman for the Wildcats. Noah Wood is at short. Carson Fagan, I do believe, is, well, let's see if that's Carson Fagan. Carson Fagan is the second baseman. Cam Welch is at first. Richie Ferreira in right as that ball is hit to center field. Warren East back on it. 1 pitch and out and out. And so Justin Smith is retired. And the batter now will be the center fielder, Nolan Keithley, batting in the number 3 spot. Wildcats have in left field today Cam Britton. He's playing. Right-handed hitter against Cy Stevens. Pitch. He thought about calling it a strike. And then a little high and outside perhaps. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Cy working quickly. The 1-0 pitch is high and tight. The count is 2 balls. I think it's 2 balls and no strikes. The scoreboard says 1-1. I think he thought, like I did, he was going to call that first pitch a strike. Cy toes the rubber once again. Parker free with the sign. The pitch, that's up high. And let's see if the umpire will hold up his fingers to tell us the count. Scoreboard, it is 3 balls and no strikes. Cy had 3 balls on the leadoff man for them as that pitch is up high, and that's a 2-out walk. So very similar to Oak Ridge in the first inning. Wildcats had a 2-out walk to Mikey Teasley, and the batter now will be the right fielder, and that is Cam Jackson. Jackson stands in. He'll bat from the left side against the left-handed throwing Cy Stevens. 2 lefties in the lineup in the first 4 batters. Pitch to the plate. Hit in the left field. Cam Britton will let it fall in front of him for a base hit. He gets the ball in quickly, and that is a 2-out single, and they've got runners at first and second with 2 outs, and the batter for them will be Dane Henshaw. He'll play left field for the White House. Parker out with a little short conversation with Cy. Henshaw in, right-handed hitter. The pitch to the plate is a bit high, I guess, maybe a little outside. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch hit to right field. Richie Ferreira is going to field it on 1 hop. He's going to come in with a throw, and the nice throw by Richie all the way in. He would have been dead to rights, but it is another hit for White House, and they have the bases loaded. Good job for Richie to get the ball in, and the bases are full, as the batter now will be Nate Dixon, the first baseman. Thought Richie at first was going to make the play, did a good job, fielded it and got the ball in quickly, threw it on a fly to Parker Free. Runner was held up at third, so the bases are loaded. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. Cy trying to work out of a first inning miss. The pitch is hit on the ground. 1 hop over his head. He makes the play and throws on the first in time. Really nice play by Cy Stevens. I thought when the ball was hit, it was going to get over his head, but he made a nice grab and was able to throw the runner out to retire the side. But White House loads the bases, and they strand all 3. We go to the top of the second inning here at Fairhope, Alabama. The Wildcats and White House are tied at 0. We'll be back in a moment. We'll go back once again to our coverage of Oak Ridge High School baseball on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. It'll be Peyton Witter leading things off for the Wildcats. He's the designated hitter today, hitting for the shortstop, Noah Wood. Peyton stands in, right-handed hitting senior. The pitch is outside, and the count is 1-0. It'll be Witter, then followed by Richie Ferreira in the Wildcat lineup, then Carson Fagan. Pitch, high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Wildcats picked up a walk in the first inning. He was stranded. The White House loaded the bases. That pitch is outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Richie did a really good job getting the ball in. They might have scored that first run. 3-0 pitch, there's a called strike, and the count is 3-1. I'll set the defense for White House in a moment when I get a chance. Peyton back in, hits the ball into left field. Oh, nice play by the third baseman, and he's going to throw him out. Great play. When he first hit the ball, I thought it was going to go into left field. He made a nice diving play. Nice play there by Justin Smith, and that is out number 1 here in the inning. And the batter now will be Richie Ferreira. Richie is another senior. He bats from the right side, the left side, that is. I don't know. Richie steps in. Walked yesterday, hits the ball on the ground, second base side. Fielded on a hop, throws on the first, and Richie is retired for the out. So 2 up and 2 down quickly. And the batter now will be the shortstop for the Wildcats, Carson Fagan. Carson's got 1 home run on the year. It happened at Halls last week at some point, maybe 2 weeks ago. Trying to think back on it. Hit to left field. Been playing primarily in the field. That breaking pitch catches the inside half of the plate, and the count is 0-1. Side dodged a bullet in the first inning, had the bases loaded. They were unable to score as that pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike, and Carson finds himself behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard here in the top of the second inning. Pitch, high, and the count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, breaking pitch, cut on and missed. And Carson Fagan goes down swinging for the third out in the inning. So it's 3 up and 3 down for White House. We go to the bottom half of the second inning here in Fairhope, Alabama. Mike Fillingham Field here in this beautiful day in Gulf Shores. Of course, tomorrow the Oak Ridge High School basketball team will be in action in the state tournament. They'll be taking on Walker Valley, and that'll be an 8:15 Eastern time start. We'll have that game for you on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, and prepradio.com. That's from the state tournament tomorrow in Murfreesboro as the Wildcats take on Walker Valley. Been a fun last little week. The Lady Wildcats were in the state tournament. The guys are going to the state tournament starting tomorrow, and we're down here at the beach calling this ball game and this tournament here with the Wildcats as the Wildcats and White House Patriots are tied 0-0. We'll be back to Fairhope in a moment. Appreciate Okie Sports Grill and Hart Construction Company for partially sponsoring our broadcast here from Alabama. As the bottom half of the second inning is about to get set, it'll be the 8 and 9 hitters. Then top of the order for White House, it'll be, let's see, Caden Wagner leading things off. He is the shortstop. Actually be 7, 8, and 9. Payne and then Newton will be the scheduled hitters in the White House lineup. Right-handed hitter playing shortstop today for the Patriots. Sai's been hit pretty well here, but they have nothing to do with it. They've out-hit the Wildcats 2-0. That pitch is a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Wagner back in. That pitch is out of the strike zone, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate you watching our broadcast on our YouTube channel right now. That pitch is on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 1-2. Not sure Caden actually agreed with the call. Kind of looked back at the umpire, but so it's 1-2. Right-handed hitter against the left-handed throwing Sai Stevens. He kind of overthrew that one. That's a ball. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Camden Welch is the first baseman for the Wildcats. You got Carson Fagan at second. Noah Woods playing short. Mikey Teasley is the third baseman. Cam Britton's in the left. Warren East is in center, and Richie's in right. Parker Free behind the plate, and senior Cy Stevens is on the mound for the Wildcats. Nobody out, nobody aboard for White House. A 2-2 pitch about to be made to Caden Wagner. Cut on a miss. And that is strikeout number 1 for Cy Stevens. And the batter will be the second baseman for the White House Patriots, Camden Payne. Where's the number 12 as he steps in the right-handed hitter's batter's box? A little tongue-tied today, Blake, for whatever reason. I guess that beach time got me. Pitch is hit well, but foul. Down the left field line. I mean, he got all of that. Had home run distance, but well foul. Number 8 hitter. He'll be followed by the catcher, Logan Newton, for White House. No balls and 1 strike. Wind is blowing in. If you look at the flags on the scoreboard directly out in left center field. Payne back in, behind in the count 0-1. That pitch called a strike. Looked a little bit high, but the count is 0-2. Looked a little bit above his belt. Cy struck out the previous batter, and that one's outside. Cy kind of wanders around, and dust comes up on the mound. The home plate area is artificial turf. The mound is dirt. The rest of the field is natural grass and dirt. 2-strike pitch, strike 3 swinging. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Cy Stevens. And the batter will be the catcher, Logan Newton, in the number 9 spot. They picked up 2 hits in the first inning and also a walk. They had a walk, then consecutive singles, but weren't able to score. Nice play and nice throw by Richie Ferreira out in right field, keeping that first run from scoring. As the pitch cut on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Whitehouse goes up swinging, that's for sure. Right-handed hitter. Cy didn't pitch much last year as that pitch is up high. Getting a chance to be one of the main starters this year for the Wildcats in the weekend ball games. Number 1 and 2, Camden and Mikey, as that pitch is on the inside corner. Nice pitch that time for Cy Stevens. And the count is 1-2. Cy trying to strike out the side here in the second inning. Hitting the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard. The pitch. Cut on a miss. 3 up and 3 down. 3 straight strikeouts to close out the second inning. We go to the top of the third. We have no score here from Fairhope, Alabama, as we broadcast on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. My name is David Clary. We appreciate Blake Woody and Caleb Riker for joining us here in Gulf Shores as our baseball tournament experience ends today. We'll be heading back to Murfreesboro for the boys state tournament tomorrow for an 8:15 ball game as the Wildcats take on the Walker Valley Mustangs in the first round of the TSSAA Blue Cross Basketball Championships from Middle Tennessee State University. We'll be back with the third inning, sponsored by Okie Sports Grill, along with Hart Construction in a moment. Welcome back once again to Fairhope, Alabama. It's kind of a country road drive out here, but once we got here, really a nice little community. They had places for us to eat. We were kind of concerned. We were decided we were going to eat when we got here, and as we were driving here, all we saw was very flat farmland to get here. But once we got here, there was a nice little community and a beautiful field, nice facilities here at Fairhope. And as the Wildcats, Cy Stevens steps in, batting for the Wildcats. Wildcats have yet to pick up a base hit. They have 1 base runner. That was a walk to Mikey Teasley back in the first inning. Cy takes strike 1. That one's up high, and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wildcats went down in order in the second inning. Witter, Pereira, and Fagan. 1, 2, 3. Pitch to Cy. Hit in the air, left side, left fielder giving it a long look just inside foul territory, actually fair territory. He makes the catch for out number 1. Better now will be number 8, Cam Britton. Steps in for the Wildcats. Cam didn't play yesterday. He did get a chance to play. Picked up a base hit in the first ball game against Alabama Christian Academy. Right-handed hitting junior. Hitting number 9 in the lineup today. The pitch to him is, they ask for help. And I guess he held up, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Cam will be followed by Warren East in the Wildcat lineup. The pitch to Cam is, oh boy, on the inside half of the plate. Might kind of looked a little too inside, but he has a better angle than I do. It's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, breaking pitch. Now he's going to tell us where it is. He says it was high. Now he's catching flack from both sides. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out, nobody aboard. 3rd inning pitch, cut on and missed. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Warren East on deck. He hit a comebacker in the 1st inning. Cam back in, 2-2 pitch. Way outside that time with the breaking pitch, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cam's a guy with a good eye. He's taken a lot of walks in his 2-year career as a Wildcat. 3-2 pitch, cut on and missed. Foul tipped and caught by the catcher, and that is out number 2. And back to the top of the order we go to Warren East. Warren, as I mentioned, grounded out to the pitcher. He had 3 hits yesterday in the win. 2-0 win. We've got just a pitcher's duel, like obviously what we have going on now. Cy was in a little trouble in the 1st inning, and he'll have to face the top of the order in the bottom of this inning, but was cruised through the final 7, 8, and 9 hitters in their lineup as that pitch to Warren is a called strike. One strike pitch, high and inside, evens the count at 1-1. Hit foul. Back to the screen. And Warren behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'll have to get Caleb to remind me between his deathly illness over there to our left to tell me who we're playing in the 2nd game. The pitch is up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Think we should call an ambulance for Caleb?
Yeah, maybe. It's not sounding too good.
He's getting worse and worse. We're putting him in the trunk on the way back. 2-2 pitch, cut on a miss, and Warren goes down swinging. That's a rarity. He doesn't strike out very much, and that is out number 3 here in the top of the 3rd. We are live here at Fairhope High School in Fairhope, Alabama. My name is David Clary, along with Blake Woody and Caleb Riker. This broadcast of Oak Ridge High School Tournament Baseball is brought to you by Okie Sports Grill in Oak Ridge, along with Hart Construction. Lynn Hart, the owners of both. He wants to wish the Wildcats well, not only in this tournament, but for the rest of the season. Of course, Oak Ridge made it to the state tournament a year ago, winning a ball game there against Bradley and hoping to go even farther this year. Wildcats and Patriots are tied at 0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Cy is warming up once again, and we'll be back for the bottom of the 3rd in a moment. Welcome back once again to Fairhope, Alabama, part of the Gulf Shores tournament. The Wildcats in their 2nd straight year coming down here for this one. Wildcats have won their first 2 ball games, have yet to give up a run. The Wildcats have outscored their 2 opponents 20-0 in the first 2 ball games, but have run into a really fine pitcher for White House today, who has shut out the Wildcats and hitless as size pitch at the knees, I guess maybe a little bit below the knees. Kind of an inconsistent strike zone for both teams. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch is cut on and missed. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That pitch is way outside. Caleb's allergies are messing with him again, as they usually are. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pollen is not your friend, is it, Caleb? He says no. Pitch is hit foul. Back to the screen, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As I mentioned, nobody out, nobody aboard here. We're in the 3rd in a fast-moving game. The Patriots loaded the bases in the 1st inning. Were unable to score. The Wildcats, their only base runner, a walk to Mikey Teasley. That happened in the 1st. Cy Stevens, senior pitcher, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Facing his mound opponent. The pitch is hit foul again. Out of play. Actually, today is one of the first days of this tournament that we've actually seen clouds in the sky. It's been sunny blue skies in every ball game we've played. Yesterday, a little bit too sunny. We were facing the sun. Much better view. Like our vantage point for this broadcast. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground. 1 hop. Fielded by Carson Fagan. Throws on the first in time for out number 1. Ball was hit hard, but out. And the batter now will be Justin Smith, the 3rd baseman. He lined out to pretty deep center field to Warren East back in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Big left-handed hitter steps in, digs in the artificial turf, stares back at the left-handed throwing Cy Stevens, and here's the pitch. On the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ball is hit in the air once again to center field. Cam's calling for it. They're both going to collide, and I think it was Cam Britton who actually made the play. Cam Britton, the left fielder. You could hear actually both of them, and typically it's the center fielder who kind of directs the outfield, but I guess Cam couldn't hear Warren. Warren couldn't hear Cam, and they're lucky they didn't collide and drop the ball. And that is the 2nd time that Justin has flied out in the ball game, and the batter now will be Nolan Keithley. Nolan walked. He's the center fielder for the Patriots. Since that 1st inning, Cy has retired 6 consecutive batters. The Dane Henshaw was the last person to reach base safely. That was a single, and he struck out the side in the 2nd. Has retired the first 2 batters here in the 3rd. 0-0 the score as we play here in the 3rd inning. Keithley will be followed by Jackson as the ball is hit on 1 hop to the shortstop. Noah Wood throws quickly on the first. Who holds the bag does Cam Welch, and that is out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down again for the Wildcat pitcher Cy Stevens. We go to the top of the 4th inning. We have no score. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Wildcat lineup to face the Patriot pitcher. And we'll be back to Fairhope, Alabama in a moment. Welcome back once again to Fairhope, Alabama, where the Wildcats and the Patriots of White House heritage are locked in a pitcher's duel. The Wildcats failed to pick up a base hit. The Patriots had two, all coming in the first inning, as the Wildcats prepare to bat here in the fourth. Leading things off will be the catcher, Parker Free. Parker flew out to center field, his only at bat. He's 0 for 1. Breaking pitch, nice one, in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Parker asked the umpire where it was. Of course, Parker, a catcher, he appreciates such things. That one's a fastball low and inside, and evens the count at 1-1. Have we sent him to the car?
No, not yet.
Ball is hit on the ground to the shortstop, and the throw on the first in time. And Parker is retired. He's now 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Better be Mikey Teasley. Mikey, the only base runner so far in the ballgame for the Wildcats. He had a 2-out walk in the first. So the perfect game is gone, but the no-hitter is still intact, as he's yet to give up a base hit to the Wildcats. A few balls have been hit hard, but good defense by the Patriots. Oh, that pitch was way outside. That was in the left-handed batter's box. No balls and 1 strike. Pitch. Almost the same location, but called a ball. Just kidding. That one was way outside. Evens the count at 1 strike. The good thing about sitting here, the umpire can hear every word I say here. So if I direct it towards him, 1-1 pitch. Oh, high and tight. Buzzed the tower on Mikey, and the count is 2-1 strike. 1 out, nobody aboard. Wildcats still looking for their first hit. Wildcats have outscored their opponents 20-0 to this point, but this guy's proving to be very, very tough as Mikey fouls that pitch back, and the count is 2-2. As I mentioned, Mikey walked his first time. He'll be followed by Cam Welch in the lineup. There's 1 out, nobody aboard in a 0-0 ball game, the top of the fourth. Right-hander comes to the plate. Hit on the ground, high hop. It's going to be a bang-bang play. Third baseman fields it, throws low, but not in time, and that's your first base hit. So the no-hitter goes by the boards, and the Wildcats have their first hit. The ball was hit softly, and Mikey runs well, and he was able to beat it out for the first hit of the ball game. Batter now will be the first baseman, Cam Welch. Checking his little scorecard, knows what the play is and what they want, what Coach Travis Free wants him to do on this particular at bat. Mikey with good speed at first will take his lead, and it's a big lead at first, almost to the cutout area of the grass. Pitch, breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 1 out, runner at first, Mikey Teasley. The Patriots have out-hit the Wildcats 2-1, but we remain scoreless. Cam will be followed by Peyton Witter in the Wildcat lineup. Mikey is picked off. Mikey casually took the lead off of first, and then casually came back to the bag at first, and he is picked off, and he was. Good move there by the pitcher. That is out number 2, so that erases the Wildcats' only base runner. Coach Ball standing on top of it, but Mikey just didn't get back in time. So there's 2 outs now. 1 strike on Welch. The pitch. Hit on the ground, this time to the second baseman. He fields it cleanly. Throws on the first in time. So the Wildcats, for the second time, Cam Welch grounds out the second. That is out number 3. So the Wildcats pick up their first base hit, an infield single. He is retired, being picked off the bag at first. We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning here at Fairhope Field. Mike looks like filling field here in Fairhope, Alabama. The Wildcats and Patriots are tied at 0. Once again, we'd like to thank Lynn Hart with Okie Sports Grill and Hart Construction Company for sponsoring our tournament broadcasts here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. I want to remind everybody as well that tomorrow at 8:15 Eastern Time, the Oak Ridge boys basketball team will be in action. They'll take on the Mustangs of Walker Valley High School in the first round of the Boys State basketball tournament from the Murphy Center. We are not allowed to stream the game on our YouTube channel, but we will have it. We'll tape it, and we'll also have it on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, and the live audio also will be on prepradio.com. 0-0 our score as White House prepares to bat here in the fourth inning. We'll be back with Cy and the fourth in a moment. Looking back once again to Fairhope, Alabama. Leading things off, number 4 hitter in the White House lineup. That is Cam Jackson. Cam picked up a single his first time. He's 1 for 1. Takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. White House is at hit Oak Ridge 2-1. Side comes in. That one's way outside. Cy's a left-handed throwing pitcher against the left-handed hitting Jackson. Pitch. Hit well in the right field. That's a base hit. He hung that one right in the strike zone, and that'll be the second hit of the ball game for Cam Jackson. And the batter now will be Dane Henshaw. Sun's beginning to move a little bit closer to us. Hopefully we'll stay out of it as the left side of this overhang over the middle part of the bleachers. We had this at the other field we were at the first night. It's our third field in 3 days. Pitch is a called strike to Dane Henshaw, the left fielder. He had a single in the first inning. They loaded the bases, but were unable to score. Let's see what Cy can do with the heat of the lineup. He throws over to first and back to the bag. Once again, we'll go Cam Jackson. Right-handed hitter. Side comes to the plate, a little bit low. And the count now is even at 2-2 strikes. Cy Stevens has 3 strikeouts on the day, all 3 at the bottom of the White House order. 7, 8, and 9 hitters went down consecutively. Pitch is high and tight, and the count is 3-1, I do believe. That's the scoreboard says 2-1. I might have missed one. I might have imagined one. Pitch. There's a called strike, and that's strike 2. And according to the scoreboard, it is 2-2 strikes. That is the case. Runner at first. Nobody out. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Side comes to the plate. Ball hit on the ground to right field. That's another base hit. Richie comes up with it quickly and fires it in. It's cut off by Noah Wood, the shortstop. So the 2 guys that picked up the hits in the first inning have picked up hits here in the fourth, and Coach Ball is going to come out to talk to Cy. They've had 4 hits. The same 2 guys have the hits. That would be Jackson and Henshaw. The batter now will be Nate Dixon, the first baseman. Conversation between Jeremiah Ball, the pitching coach of the Wildcats, and the entire infield, including catcher Parker Free. 0-0 our score, but once again, White House is knocking on the door. Cy was able to get through the bottom half of the order fairly easily, and he's hoping for the same here. As the last time, Nick Dixon hit a little high chopper that was fielded nicely by Cy behind the mound. He was able to throw out the runner, and then he struck out. That was the final out of that particular inning. Right-handed hitter, Dixon stands in. The Wildcats and Patriots tied at 0. Runners at first and second. Tall, gangly right-handed hitter. The pitch to him is cut on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Nobody out here in the fourth. Wildcats have been out hit 4-1. But as I keep mentioning, it's a scoreless ball game. Stevens checks the runner at second. The pitch hit in the air on the infield. The Wildcat second baseman, Carson Fagan, makes the play for out number 1. Right-handed hitter. Once again, runners at first and second. Infield is in at first. Cam's right on the grass in front of the base runner. Side comes to the plate. Cut on and missed. Caden Wagner, I believe, the batter. He was a strikeout victim back in the second inning. Pitch to the plate. He does square to bunt and takes one a little bit low, and the count is even at 1 strike. Camden Payne, the second baseman, is on deck for the Patriots. 1 out, 1 pitch. Here it comes. Squares to bunt again. Feels it. Side does. Had to play at third. It's going to go to first, and they're going to call him out. Somehow, Carson Fagan came down on the bag. It was a nice bunt. I thought Cy initially might go, and they're going to say what? They're going to ask the home plate umpire if Carson was able to come down on the bag in time. We had a play overturned yesterday, and I think this might be this same kind of situation here. Carson had to go up for a high throw, and down he came, and they are going to indeed call him out. So it's a sacrifice bunt, and that's 2 outs, and they've got 2 runners in scoring position. And the batter is Camden Payne. Payne was a strikeout victim his first time, takes one on the outside half of the plate, and the count is 0-1. Did I hear somebody say home cooking? We're from a little ways away as that pitch is on the outside corner. Poor Camden Payne, he hadn't had that. The last 2 really have not even hit the strike zone, and he's behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Cy trying to get out of trouble, and he does. Strike 3 looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for him. Took 3 pitches, all 3 in the strike zone, and once again, Whitehouse leaves 2 base runners on, and we go to the 5th inning here at Fairhope, Alabama. The Wildcats and Patriots tied at 0. 2 really good pitchers facing one another here in this Gulf Shores tournament that you're listening or watching on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, live from Fairhope, Alabama. We've been at 3 different fields, different communities around the Gulf Shores area, and I don't know. I'll ask Blake this. Blake, of the 3 fields, which one is your favorite?
It's either the first one or this one. Right now I'm thinking this one. It's really nice. We have a nice view, nice shade. It's really looking good for this one.
I kind of agree with you. I like this one, not just because of the shade, just the trees surrounding it. The field we're at yesterday obviously was fairly new, and it didn't really have a lot of amenities, didn't have a lot of things around it, and we didn't really have a great vantage point to broadcast from, but it was brand new and one of the biggest high school fields I've ever seen. They don't have the dimensions on this particular field as I look around it, but it's not even anywhere close to being the same size as the team yesterday at Alberta, where the Wildcats won that game 2-0. They won their first game at I guess it was Gulf Breeze or Sea Breeze, one of those, and the Wildcats won that first game 18-0. Wildcats got to get something going. They've only had 2 base runners, the same guy, Mikey Teasley, a walk and a single. He was picked off and was stranded after the walk. Leading things off for Oak Ridge is Peyton Witter. Peyton is the designated hitter today for the shortstop, Noah Wood. Peyton grounded out on actually, it wasn't a ground. It was a really nice play in the hole. That the third baseman made a really nice play, Justin Smith did, to retire him back in the second inning as that ball is hit off the end of the bat and foul. over towards the Oak Ridge dugout and past Richie Ferreira. And Peyton behind in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody aboard. Pitch, breaking pitch, a little bit inside. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cy's been in trouble in this ball game, but he's been able to wrangle out of it. That ball's hit well to right center field. That's going to roll to the fence. It's out of here! Home run! Home run! The ball got over the fence. A line drive shot. I thought it was going to hit the fence. It cleared it, and Oak Ridge is broken through here in the 5th inning. A right center field blast, and the Wildcats have the lead 1-0 here in the 5th inning. As that celebration takes place, and you got it, Blake. Good job. 1-0 Wildcats. That ball was hit a ton. When he first hit it, I thought he was just going to maybe one-hop the fence, but it cleared it, and the Wildcats lead it 1-0. Good start, obviously, for the Wildcats. Peyton hit the ball well his first time. And as Richie foul tips the first pitch, 1-0 Wildcats. So only the second hit of the ball game. Peyton, like I said, has hit the ball well twice. That one went the distance, and that pitch is outside, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Blake, Peyton hit that one a ton.
Yeah, I was very surprised when that went out. It was very good ball. Very impressed with Peyton.
Richie files it back to the left side. He's behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Richie Ferreira, let's see what he did. He grounded out to second his first time. He'll be followed by Carson Fagan. That pitch is hit foul back to the screen. Peyton Witter with a home run to give Oak Ridge a 1-0 lead. Richie back in, deep in the box. 1-2 pitch. Outside. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kind of enjoyed our trip. I'm looking forward to the basketball tournament, the state tournament that the Wildcats are in tomorrow, and in the Elite 8 in the state. But, boy, the weather's so nice down here.
Yeah, it's going to be sad to leave this place. But
no more beach time. Maybe we can sneak away, drive back down here after the game tomorrow, and then probably not going to happen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Richie back in. Pitch to him. Cut on a missed. And Richie goes down. And let's see, for them, that is strikeout number 4 for him. And the batter now will be the second baseman, Carson Fagan. Carson was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning for the 3rd out in that inning. 1-0. The Wildcats have the lead. Squares to bunt, takes one up high. And the sophomores ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Fagan hits from the right side. The pitch to him, that's ball 2. Up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Cy Stevens, the pitcher, is on deck. Cy flew out to left field, his only plate appearance. 2-0 pitch to Carson on the inside corner. There's a called strike. And the count is 2-1. Big hit by Peyton Witter. I mean, nothing and really Wildcats had struggled against him. That ball is hit foul off to the right side. But Peyton got all of that as it hits the top of that batting shed to our right once again. But like Blake and I both said, when he first hit it, I thought it was going to be a hit, but I didn't think it'd clear the fence. I don't know what the dimensions are out in right center. Pitch, outside, ball 3 to Carson Fagan. Scoreboard says 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, hit on the ground past the shortstop in the left field, and the Wildcats have a base runner. Carson Fagan. Let's see if we give him a hit on that one. They're going to give him a hit. Ball was a short hop of the shortstop. He tried to kind of olay it, and the ball was hit a little harder, I think, than he thought. The ball goes into left field, and Carson Fagan is a base runner. So the Wildcats have another base hit according to the scoreboard, the official scorekeeper. And the batter will be the pitcher, Cy Stevens. Cy will be followed by Cam Britton in the Wildcat lineup. Cy with great power for the Wildcats. Hitting in the number 8 spot today. Been a little slow out of the gate. Ball is hit in the air, right side, drifting into foul territory. The right fielder gives it a look, but just out of room. Can't make the play, and the count is 0-1. Much more comfortable here to watch this ball game in the shade compared to yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was brutal. Sun right in our eyes and getting a little sunburnt, too, from that.
Yeah, look at my nose.
Yeah, it's pretty red.
Look at all of him. He's very red. Redder than his shirt almost. Throw over to first, and back to the bag will go Carson Fagan. Mikey Teasley was picked off earlier in the ball game. He's got a pretty good move. Mike Sheehan watching our broadcast today. That pitch is a called strike to Cy, and the count is 0-2. Right-handed hitter. Carson takes his lead off of first. Big lead. 0-2 pitch to Cy. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wow. Well, allergies are terrible this time of year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carson Fagan at first. Pitch to Cy. There's a called strike, and he knew it. And he walks back to the dugout. And that is out number 2 in the inning. And then the number 9 hitter in the Wildcat lineup will be the junior Cam Britton. Wildcats haven't done a lot of running, uncharacteristic of Coach Free. As Cam steps in, right-handed hitter. Playing left field today is Cam. Pitch up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Warren East is on deck. Warren's been quiet today. Couple of bats. He's 0 for 2. He's on deck. Had 3 hits yesterday in the Wildcats' 2-0 win. Throw over to first, and Carson Fagan back to the bag with ease. Carson on a little infield hit past the shortstop to reach base. Staying put at first. The pitch hit on the ground. There's a base hit for Cam Britton. His second hit in the last 3 days. The Wildcats flip the order. Cam has a base hit, and he is 1 for 2 in the ball game. And here comes Warren East. So Wildcats getting a little bit more bat on the ball here in the 5th inning. As Warren East steps in. Had a triple yesterday. Scored the Wildcats' first run of the game. Had a couple singles as well in the victory. And he bats here with 2 outs with runners at first and second. Big hole to hit in, right where he likes to hit it, between the shortstop and the third baseman. Trying to hold Fagan on at second. He retreats back to his shortstop position, and Warren hits the ball hard. Buzz the dugout of the White House Heritage Patriots, and the count is 0-1. Umpire requested a new baseball, and a couple of them pop out of the dugout. Warren back in. Sophomore, hitting in the number 1 position for the Wildcats, has patrolled center field the last 2 seasons, this season, early season, and last year. He's got runners at first and second, 1 run in on the Peyton Witter home run. The pitch, breaking pitch, hit in the air. Foul territory, third baseman, the shortstop back. It's going to be the third baseman staggering, but making a nice play for out number 3. So the Wildcats do manage to get a few more base runners. They leave a couple stranded. The big blow, the home run by Peyton Witter. The Wildcats on top of White House, 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We appreciate Lynn Hart with Okie Sports Grill and Hart Construction Company for partially sponsoring our broadcast here today and this entire tournament from Alabama. We appreciate them. Wildcats on top 1-0. We'll be back to Fairhope in a moment. Welcome back once again to Fairhope, Alabama. First pitch from Cy Stevens. Hit foul. Mikey Teasley gives it a look, but unable to catch up with it. Left-handed hitter facing the left-handed throwing Cy Stevens. Number 9 hitter in their lineup. He hits the ball. Oh, what a play! What a play by Mikey Teasley to rob. Well, it might have been foul, but he just went diving, and hopefully we got that on camera.
I think I did, but it was pretty quick.
I mean, that was a great play by Mikey Teasley. A fantastic, laid out for it and made the grab. Wow. Big play there as Newton is retired. And that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And back to the top of the order we go once again. There's a called strike from Cy Stevens. What a play by Mikey Teasley. I mean, he laid out for it. I think it would have been a foul ball. Pitch is cut on a miss. And that's strike 2, and the count is 0-2. Well, that's hard. The ball was hit hard. I mean, I can't describe just what a great play it was. The ball is hit, foul, back our way, and a play. And the count remains at 0-2. 1-0 Wildcats on the Peyton Witter home run. Cy Stevens has gone all the way. In fact, the Wildcats, with the exception of that first game, the Wildcats blew out that team 18-0. There's a pitch. Oh, boy. I guess a little low. Count is 1-2. Both pitchers have pitched extremely well today. Side of the plate, hit foul once again. Off the netting to the left side, and the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Wildcats will play 2 today. So we haven't really decided on our plan as of yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. We've got to head to Murfreesboro for the state tournament. 1-2 pitch, that's up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out here in the 5th, bottom of the 5th. Caleb back in. He's the pitcher. Hit on the ground, shortstop side. Noah Wood fields it. Throws, not in time. It's an infield single for their leadoff man. 1 out here in the 5th, and the batter will be Justin Smith. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. A couple of flyouts, 1 to center field, 1 to left field. Made a couple nice plays at third base as well for Whitehouse. Runner at first, the pitch. Called strike on the outer half of the plate, and the count is 0-1. 1 out here in the 5th in a 1-0 game. Heritage is out hit Oak Ridge 5-4. That pitch stays up high. And the count is even at 1-1. So I'm being blocked a little bit by the clouds. 1 out was reported by Mikey Teasley on a great play at third base. Just a fantastic play by the junior third baseman. Runner at first for Whitehouse. Pitch, hit on the ground. First base side, they've got 1 at second. And the return throw eludes the first baseman. But Camden got the lead runner in a nice play. I mean, he fired it down to second in the return throw. So that gets the lead runner off the bags. And that is out number 2. Smith is on first base with a fielder's choice. Out number 2. And the batter, scheduled hitter, is Nolan Keithley. Nolan walked his first time back in the first inning, grounded out to second in the 3rd. 2 outs now. Good play by Cam. He went and got that lead runner at second. The throwback, not in time. Pitch, outside and low. Neither team willing to run much in this game. Oak Ridge didn't seem to have had as many base runners as Whitehouse. Pitch. Here's a throw down, and not in time. That time Parker saw the lead at first, and he fired it down to the bag, but easily back to the bag went Justin Smith. Right-hander back in, Nolan Keithley. Senior Cy Stevens checks the runner. Comes to the plate. Foul off to the right side and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1-0 Wildcats on the Peyton Witter home run in the top of this inning. We're in the 5th. White House has out hit Oak Ridge 5-4. No errors have been charged. Pitch is hit on the ground. Nubbed off the end. Cy fields it and throws in. They say not in time. Bang, bang play there. And they've got runners at first and second. And in this ball game, the best hitter to this point comes to the plate in Cam Jackson. Cam is 2 for 2 in the ball game. They're going to get a courtesy runner out at second for Smith. They've got runners at first and second. Cy hasn't been able to slow this young man down. He is 2 for 2, as I mentioned, in the ball game with 2 singles. Hit the ball hard both times. Coach Ball will signal in the play to the catcher, Parker Free. Cam Welch is the first baseman. Carson Fagan at second. Noah Wood at short. Mikey Teasley is the third baseman. Cam Britton in left. Warren East in center. And over in right field is Richie Ferreira. Cy Stevens has gone all the way. They gave him an error on that last play. The pitch. Oh, boy. Might have been below the knees, but it was on the inside half of the plate. The count is 1-0. Cy comes to the plate. Ball's ripped, and it's going to drop in for at least one. Warren got to it really quick, and here comes the throw in, and they have tied the ball game. That guy is 3 for 3 in the ball game. We have had no answer for him. RBI single for Cam Jackson. And however they elected to throw him has not worked today because he is 3 for 3, and we are tied at 1, and they've got runners on the corners. And another guy, Henshaw, steps in. He is 2 for 2 in the ball game. Toughest 2 guys in their lineup today. Potential go-ahead run, or the go-ahead run is at third. They've got a runner at first. 2 outs, though. Cy trying to work out a treble. That ball is hit foul and out of play. 1-1 our score as we play here in Fairhope, Alabama. We're in the 5th inning. Both teams breaking in on the scoreboard here this inning. Pitch. Hit on the ground. Third base side. Mikey Teasley fields. Throws on the first in time to retire the side. But the Patriots of White House Heritage tie the ball game. We are tied 1-1 as we go to the 6th, and we'll be back to Fairhope in a moment. Welcome back once again to Fairhope High School here in Fairhope, Alabama, where the Wildcats and Patriots of White House Heritage are tied at 1-1 as we go to the sixth inning. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Wildcats. Parker Free, Mikey Teasley, Cam Welch, the scheduled 3, against the really fine work of the pitcher for the Patriots, and Parker will step in. Parker, let's see, is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Flew out to center in the first inning. Grounded out to short in the third inning. Leadoff man for the Wildcats. His dad, Travis Free, the head coach. He's standing in the third base coaching box down the left side. Pitch to Parker. A little high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. 1-1. Neither team, neither pitcher really gave up much at all. Wildcats were in a little bit more trouble than as that breaking pitch catches the corner. It's a nice one, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Wildcats saw them get up several base runners in the first couple innings, but Cy was able to get out of it. And both teams finally broke through here in the fifth. We're in the top of the sixth now as Parker takes a strike, and the count is 1-2. Mikey's on deck for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge's only run, the home run by Peyton Witter. Here's a 2-strike pitch. That's outside. That's a ball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. White House Heritage has out-hit the Wildcats 6-4. They say Oak Ridge has committed 1 error. I think they charged it to Cy on that little infield play as that pitch is cut on the miss. And Parker goes down swinging on the breaking pitch. And Parker's 0 for 3 in the ballgame. And the batter is Mikey Teasley. Mikey picked up the first base hit of the game for Oak Ridge. That happened in the third inning. He's also walked in the game and made an exceptional play at third. Right-handed hitter in a 1-1 ball game in the sixth inning. Pitch to the plate is breaking pitch stays outside and low. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Wind's kind of died down a little bit. It was kind of blowing in when we first started. Pitch is hit in the air to left field and deep. Left fielder back, looking up, off the wall. Mikey has at least one. He's heading towards second. Nothing that left fielder can do. The ball just kept drifting and drifting and drifting. Hit about halfway up the wall in left field. The Wildcats have the go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 out. And the Wildcats will watch them send the pitching coach or the coach out to talk with Caden. The Mikey's now 2 for 2 in the ball game with a walk. Let's see how long this conversation is. Mikey's going to trot over and talk to Coach Free over there on the third base side. The batter for Oak Ridge will be Cam Welch. Cam has a couple of ground outs to his credit, both to the second baseman. I don't know, Blake. I think Caleb we might need to call the Undertaker. What do you think?
Yeah, we might have to. He's looking pretty sick right now.
Every time I go to the beach with this guy, he gets sick. And hopefully he won't get us sick. He says it's allergies, though, and we'll go with that because there's a lot of pollen. My car was covered with yellow pollen. As Cam Welch steps to the mound, he's a left-hander. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. 2 ground outs to the second baseman, Camden Payne, for Heritage White House. Mikey takes his lead off of second. The pitch, breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Jeremiah Ball is the first base coach for the Wildcats. Travis Free down at third. 1 strike the count to Cam. See if Mikey makes a break towards third. He likes to do that as that pitch is way outside. That wouldn't have been the pitch to go on. They would have had him dead to rights. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cam bats from the left side. He's a big junior, playing first base today for the Wildcats. Pitched the opening game. Hits the ball into left field. That's a base hit. Great job of hitting. Mikey gets the green light. Here comes the throw. Not in time. And the Wildcats have the lead right back, 2-1. Nice job of hitting there by Cam Welch. He just hit it into left field. And the Wildcats lead it by a score of 2-1, giving RBI to Cam Welch. That time he went the opposite way. His first two previous at-bats were just ground outs to the second baseman, and that is a single and an RBI in the score. The run is Mikey Teasley, and the batter now will be Peyton Witter. Peyton hit the home run that gave the Wildcats the lead early in the game, last inning. That pitch grazes him, and down the first will go Peyton Witter. So the Wildcats picking up some base runners here. They've scored a run. They have them at first and second, and that's going to be it for Caleb. He's going to have to come out of the ball game as second mound visit, and we'll have a new pitcher on the mound for White House Heritage. We appreciate Lynn Hart, Okies Sports Grill, and Hart Construction Company for helping us with our broadcast down here in Alabama. 3 different fields, and we've gotten a chance to broadcast 3 ball games to date. Wildcats are 2-0, but this one probably another exciting one. Yesterday was a 2-0 win. Good job by their pitcher. I mean, Blake, good job by their pitcher. I didn't know if we were going to break through against him.
Yeah, he was really good. He was throwing very good balls, super fast. I think he was throwing 82, which is pretty good. And he threw really well. His curveball was excellent. I mean, super accurate. It was awesome.
And he's kind of running out of gas here now, and let's see what happens here. The Wildcats will have runners at first and second. 1 run in. Oak Ridge on top, 2-1. Wildcats have now even the hit total at 6 apiece. And Peyton, who hit a home run his last time, got hit. You know, what a play by Mikey Teasley a moment ago. I mean, just a fantastic play.
Yeah, I wish I got the whole thing on camera because that thing, it was stellar. It was stellar play. He just fully laid out for that ball. It looked like something from a movie.
It's something, you know, I say this all the time, and this is, I'm not just trying because you're sitting next to me, but it is hard to do a baseball game with one camera. And the ball, I'm not describing it super well, but it was a fantastic play by Mikey. And Mikey has also given his team the lead now, 2-1, so Mikey having a good game.
Yeah, he's really putting the team on his shoulders a little bit on this one. But, I mean, the whole team's playing well, but Mikey is really standing out right now.
New pitcher in the ball game. We'll check what his name is here in a second. As I'm going to put the mic down here, the music is rolling here. Wildcats on top 2-1 as we continue to bat in the top of the 6th inning. Welcome back once again to Fairhope High School in Fairhope, Alabama. The Wildcats have taken a 2-1 lead over White House Heritage. Our friends from Middle Tennessee taking on the Wildcats here. The batter is going to be for the Wildcats Richie Ferreira. Richie in the game is 0 for 2, grounded out to second, and a strikeout victim. Not exactly sure what this conversation is about. But as the umpire, the home plate umpire, and the new pitcher, Cameron Jackson. Cam Jackson started in right field this ball game, has moved to the mound. As Richie steps in, the Wildcats have runners at first and second. Looks like we might have a courtesy runner in the ball game for the Wildcats as Richie bats. And pitches down low, a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes. Coach Free barking out the play. Left-handed hitter. 1 ball, no strikes to Richie. Fakes the throwback. Kipton Fagan has come in to run for the Wildcats. He's running for Peyton Witter, which means we might see Peyton come in to pitch in the bottom half of this inning. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Cam Welch, the lead runner at second. Kipton Fagan, freshman, is the base runner at first. New pitcher for White House is Cameron Jackson. 1 ball, no strikes. Cameron comes to the plate. That's outside and low. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here in the 6th inning. The Wildcats have plated a run to retake the lead. 2-1 on the Mikey Teasley RBI. Actually, he scores, and Cam Welch knocked him in with the single to the opposite field. That pitch is way up high, and 3 balls and no strikes to Richie Ferreira. Pitch. There's a called strike. Richie thought it was ball 4. Probably should have stood there a while. You don't want to make the umpire mad. Kipton Fagan at first. Cam Welch is down at second. Richie Ferreira, 3 balls and 1 strike to him. The pitch to the senior. Cut on and missed. That's one thing that Richie does. Richie, when he swings, he releases his hand off the bat when he swings through a pitch. Cam Jackson has come back to make it a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind's starting to pick up again. That pitch is hit in the air, foul. Over towards the White House Heritage dugout and out of play. Wind's picking up. It's moving from left to right as we broadcast here from Fairhope. Richie back in. Base runners not being held on at first. Kipton takes his lead. 3-2 pitch. They do chase Cam back to the bag at second. There's 1 out here in the 6th inning. 2-1 Wildcats. Oak Ridge trying to go 3-0 in this tournament. Pitch. Hit in the air once again. Foul territory over towards the concession stand. And out of play. Caleb Riker doing our scoreboard work in between coughing spells. Blake Woody doing camera work for us. Going to need some more baseballs, and they'll swing them out of the Oak Ridge dugout to the umpire. Oak Ridge will play a game immediately following this game. Richie back in a moment as the umpire resupplies his supply of baseballs. I haven't seen many thrown back in from outside when they've gone in foul territory. Richie back in. I'm sure his grandparents are watching in California, as they always do. Pitch, hit in the air again. Foul and out of play. Over into the parking lot, this time a little deeper. Takes a long bounce and rolls pretty far away. And the count remains at 3-2. Cameron Jackson, the second pitcher used by White House Heritage. Steps back in, does Richie. A 3-2 pitch upcoming once again. Not this time, chasing Cam back to the bag at second. Good turnout of Oak Ridge fans once again for this tournament. We had, 40 yesterday at least. I don't know quite as many today. Pitch to Richie is ball 4, and that is loading the bases. So Richie does another good job working. Got a couple of foul balls, 3 or 4 foul balls just to stay alive and earn the walk, and the Wildcats have the bases loaded. And the batter is Carson Fagan. Carson was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning, picked up a single in the 4th. The Wildcats on top 2-1. Both teams have 6 hits apiece. Wildcats have 1 error. Carson the batter. Infield is in on the grass for White House. 1 out. Timeout is asked for by Carson. Carson will be followed by Cy Stevens in the Wildcat lineup. Pitcher of record to this point. Pitch to Carson. Outside corner for a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. I like this vantage point. We're in the shade. Not much going on. Cool day near the beach. watching Oak Ridge baseball. Pitch to Carson, stays up high. That evens the count at 1 strike. Appreciate Lynn Hart with Okie Sports Grill and Hart Construction Company. 1 strike, the pitch. That's ball 2. No place to put Carson. The bases are loaded. Cam Welch is the lead runner at third. Wildcats have Kipton Fagan, little brother of Carson, the batter. He's at second. Richie Ferreira at first. Pitch. That's ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. So, as I said, no place to put Carson Fagan. Wildcats could use some more insurance. It's getting late. We're in the top of the 6th inning in a 2-1 ball game. Carson back in. 3-1 pitch from Cameron Jackson. There's a called strike. Nice pitch. Fans off to my right didn't like it, but it looked like a good one for me. It was about knee high on the outer half of the plate, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Carson back in. Jackson trying to end this inning, and he does get a strikeout swinging of Carson Fagan. So there's 2 outs now. And the batter now will be Cy Stevens. Let's see what Cy has done on the day. He struck out looking his last time, flew out to left his first time, so he is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Cameron Jackson in relief. Pitch way inside. And as baseball players would say on a pitch like that, wear it. That means take the hit. Easier said than done when we're sitting up here. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs, bases full of Wildcats. 1 run in on the RBI. Second pitcher used, as I mentioned. Cy back in. Cy's gone all the way for the Wildcats. We might see him come out after this because Peyton was removed as a runner. As that pitch is cut on and missed, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ridge dugout making noise to our right. White House's dugouts to our left down the third base side. 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike as that pitch is down low. 2 outs, bases full of Wildcats. Low scoring game. We had one yesterday, 2-0. Pitchers duel. Mikey Teasley with 12 strikeouts. Complete game shutout. 2-1 pitch. That's up high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Umpire gave us the indication. We could see that it was high, but it was right at Cy's shoulder. Cy's a big boy, but it was above his shoulders. 3 balls and 1 strike. Cameron Jackson, the wind, the pitch. Hit in the air to center field, pretty deep. Back to the fence. Bat ball is going, and that is a grand slam for Cy Stevens. That ball got up and out and gone. A grand slam for Cy Stevens, and the Wildcats, just like that, have the lead 6-1. 2 home runs in the ball game. The grand slam by Cy Stevens. The ball just kept going over the center field fence. Center fielder went back as far as he could go, and Oak Ridge has blown it open here in the 6th inning with a 6-1 lead now, and the batter will be Cam Britton. I have a feeling we'll be talking to Cy after the ball game.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Pitch to Cam Britton, bounce to the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. 6-1 Wildcats in what was a pitcher's duel. The Wildcats have put 5 on the board this inning. There's a 1-1 game heading into this inning. Grand slam. That pitch, a called strike at the belt, and Britton has a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Cam had a single his last time. Strikeout victim in his first at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Cut on and missed. I could see the frustration when the ball was hit in the air by the new relief pitcher, Cameron Jackson. You could see that he was frustrated because he really made a pretty good pitch, but Cy got the bat extended and hit it over the center field fence. And there's a strikeout of Cam Britton, and that is out number 3. But very productive inning for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge gets 4 RBIs from Cy Stevens on the grand slam and an RBI single from Cam Welch. And the Wildcats now lead White House Heritage 6-1. And we'll be back to Fairhope, Alabama in a moment.